I am Selin Sınavayken. I'm an adjunct instructor of language education and a twice published author with 2 more sequels on the way, which I'm currently working on. My aim with my channel is to help intermediate level students improve their English, as well as teachers to improve their teaching strategies and using various English terminology that helps them in the classroom. So if you like my channel, please give it a big thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel and hit that little bell button. It will help me tremendously. Okay, so hi guys, so for today's video I'm going to talk about classroom English. That's right, I got several comments from teachers actually, and teacher followers who wanted to discuss various ways in which they could improve their classroom terminology usage. So I hope these are helpful. Let's go. So the first thing I want to talk about is assessment. I teach my TESOL students, basically my teacher candidate students. I also teach at the graduate level as well. And I tell them we need to do self-assessment as teachers, but we also need to tell our students to do self-assessment as well as peer assessment. So they could ask themselves where they think they are with regards to a specific topic, as well as where they see their peers in terms of level in regards to topics. So self-assessment, peer assessment. Assessment is a fancy TESOL terminology for testing, right? So we assess ourselves, which tells. We also test our peers in terms of, we don't need to do it to make them feel shamed in any way. It's just sort of what you do informally, right? We do peer assessment informally when we would work in pairs. But we also have, of course, informal assessments, which we give to students every time we walk around the classroom to see how they're doing, how they're answering the questions, the essays, the worksheets correctly or not, whether they're doing it correctly or not. That's informal assessment. And formal assessment is when we give them exams to test them with, of course, points. Okay, so now that we got assessment, which means testing, examining, measuring ourselves. So assessment, measuring, testing, okay? Now that we got that out of the way, let me get straight into the classroom terminology. So when we do self-assessments, we ask students, where do you think you are with your English? You can ask something general like that, or we can use these idioms. We can ask, are we all on the same boat? Are you feeling this? Are you following me? Are you following this? Are we good so far? Are we good so far? Anyone lost? So far so good? Okay, so bu noktaya kadar anlayabildik mi? Her şey yolunda mı? Demek bu sorular. Okay, so number 3, let's say you want to just start off a new lesson, or you're done with the review and you want to get right into the lesson. You say, let's jump right on it. Let's jump right into it. Let's jump right on it or right into it. They're both the same thing. You could say, let's kick it off. Okay, so let's kick off today's lesson, which is idioms. So let's kick it off with idioms. Let's jump into it. Let's jump on it. You can also say, without further ado, let's get this show on the road. Let's get the show on the road. Without further ado, here we go. Here's the lesson, and then you can open your PowerPoint presentations. I love PowerPoint presentations. I use them tremendously. So without further ado, let's start. Let's kick it off. Let's jump right into it. Finally, we're done. We say, let's wrap it up. Okay, and we say, let's wrap it up with, we can do a review, sometimes we can do a little assessment, formal assessment, some kind of quiz, or just sort of informally, you can ask around any questions. So let's wrap things up. Any questions? What have we learned so far? How would we sum up today's lesson? So I usually like to sum things up with leaving open-ended questions to students. So what do you think was something that you got from this lesson? I mean, you also have something I teach TESOL students, like green light, okay, yellow light, and red light. So if it's something that they haven't gotten, they can say it's red light, okay? Something that they sort of have gotten, but they still have questions, could be yellow light. And if it's a green, it's a go. That means they have gotten it. So green light. So they can do assessment like that. Who's green, who's yellow, who's red. They can raise their hand like that. or they could also do various different assessments, but that's another video. It's something I teach my TESOL students. But basically, assessment, wrapping it up, what do you think was the most important thing you've gotten from this lesson today? I like that kind of wrapping it up at the end of a lesson.